The lights in room 7B didn't flicker. They collapsed inward like the air was being pulled into a void. The class froze. And then the alien teacher walked in. Mr. Kale, perfectly human-looking, but too perfect, too still, too silent. His silver eyes scanned the room like a machine searching for a target. And today he found one. Nadia, he said, come to the board. The whole class went quiet. Everyone knew he did this to embarrass students. Nadia's heart thudded as she walked to the front, staring at the strange, shifting symbols on the board. Symbols that moved when you weren't looking directly at them. Solve the pattern, Kyle said. I don't know how, she whispered. But then the symbols changed. Not for the class, only for her. They rearranged into something she suddenly understood. Her hand moved on its own, drawing a glowing line of chalk across the board. The class gasped. Kale's eyes widened for the first time. How did you do that? Humans can't read fourth dimension code. She stepped back. I'm human. No, he whispered, not fully. Students grabbed their phones, a deep hum shook the windows. Kyle leaned in, voice trembling. Your mind is unlocked, others will come for you. He stared at her like she was a miracle or a threat. The hum outside grew louder, vibrating through the floor like something enormous was passing under the school. Students looked at each other in panic, some whispering prayers, others filming. But Kyle didn't move. His silver eyes stayed locked on Nadia as if the entire world had narrowed to her. Nadia, he said quietly, listen to me. Your intelligence isn't learned. It's activated. She shook her head. Activated by what? Before he could answer, the windows flashed white, a silent burst. Every phone in the room instantly shut off. Screens black, batteries dead. The class erupted. What was that? Sir, what's happening? Is this a drill? Kale raised a hand and the entire room fell silent as if something pressed down on their chests. They found her faster than I expected, he whispered. Nadia's breath hitched. Who found me? He didn't answer with words, he pointed at the window. A dark shape hovered outside the school. Not a ship, not a drone, but a floating geometric structure twisting in on itself. And each twist made that deep humming sound, the kind that vibrated in your bones. The class screamed. Kale stepped in front of her protectively. You need to come with me now. What? Why me? Because you just solved a code written before your species existed. Her knees weakened. I don't want this. I just want to be normal. Kale shook his head. Normal is not an option anymore. The hallway outside exploded with metallic footsteps. Fast, synchronized, inhuman. Students from other classes ran past the door, screaming. Nadia grabbed his sleeve. Kale, what are they? He turned to her, eyes softening for the first time. Not as a teacher, but as someone who understood fear. They're here to erase anything, or anyone, who can unlock that code. The lights shut off. The room went pitch black. Kale whispered into the dark, Stay behind me, Nadia, no matter what. The door handle began to turn, slowly, deliberately, as if whoever was outside wanted them to hear it. The door clicked open, and a cold mist rolled into the classroom floor like smoke spilling from another world. Students scrambled back, some crying, some frozen. But the figures that stepped inside weren't soldiers. They were silent, tall, metallic, faceless, their bodies bent like liquid metal, their steps soundless but heavy, vibrating the walls. 3 of them entered, scanning the room with glowing slits where eyes should be. Nadia felt her heartbeat stop. One of the creatures turned its head toward her, not Kale, not the students, her. Kale stepped forward instantly, his voice shifting to a deep, vibrating tone that didn't sound human at all. She is under my protection. The creatures froze. Then the center one spoke, but not with a mouth. The words echoed inside everyone's minds. She carries the sequence that makes her property of the Origin fleet. Nadia stumbled back. I'm not property, I don't even know what the sequence is. Kale's body shimmered for a second, just a second, revealing something beneath his human skin. Something not human. The creatures hissed in unison. Traitor protocol detected. Kale 7 unit compromised. The class gasped. Nadia stared at him. Kyle, you're one of them? His silver eyes softened. I was, until I met you. Before she could ask what that meant, one of the metallic beings raised an arm, forming a blade out of its own body. Kel grabbed Nadia's wrist. "Run!" He slammed his foot against the floor and the entire room snapped into a burst of white light. For one dizzying moment, the world bent sideways. The classroom stretched like rubber. Students screamed as their desks slid across the room. And suddenly Nadia and Kale were in the hallway, the lights flickering above them like sparks. Nadia gasped for breath. "Where are we going?" Kyle pulled her toward the stairwell. "Somewhere they can't follow." "But why me? What did I do?" "You didn't do anything," he said. "You are something." Footsteps thundered behind them, metallic, fast, echoing like knives tapping glass. Kyle looked at her with urgency burning through his perfect face. "If they take you, it won't just be you who's lost. Your entire world will change." Nadia swallowed hard, fear choking her. "Kale, am I dangerous?" He turned to her. "No, but what's inside your mind could destroy everything they built." The footsteps grew louder, 5, 6, maybe more. Kale lifted his hand and the air rippled around it, forming a shimmering circular distortion. Nadia stared. "Is that a portal?" "Not a portal," he said. "A hiding place." The metallic creatures rounded the corner. Kale pushed her toward the shimmering field. "Nadia, trust me, go!" Nadia hesitated on the edge of something that wasn't space, wasn't air, wasn't anything she had words for. "What would you do?" Her voice trembled. "Would you trust him?" The creatures raised their blades. Kale shouted, "Now!" She stepped into the shimmer and disappeared. Nadia stumbled out of the shimmering field and landed hard on my grass. Not a hallway, not a room, not anything from Earth. The sky above her glowed with swirling purple clouds, moving like liquid galaxies. Floating shards of metal drifted through the air like leaves in slow motion. The ground hummed gently beneath her palms, warm and alive. She stood slowly, heart racing. "Where am I?" A voice answered behind her. "Where your mind belongs." Kale stepped out of the distortion, breathless, his form flickering, like holding that portal open had nearly broken him. His human skin shimmered again, revealing cracks of light underneath. Nadia backed away. "Kale, what are you?" He walked toward her slowly. "I was created to serve the Origin Fleet, to find intelligence, to report it, to control it." She swallowed. "Then why are you helping me?" He looked at her with something painfully human in his silver eyes. "Because you're the first human whose mind saw the sequence. You're not supposed to exist, and yet here you are." The sky thundered, but not like Earth thunder. It vibrated through her bones. Kyle turned sharply. "They've tracked us." Nadia's chest tightened. "We're not safe here?" "Nowhere is safe," Kale said, "except inside you." She stared at him, confused and terrified. "Stop speaking in riddles, Kale. What is the sequence? What am I?" He stepped closer, voice soft but urgent. "The sequence is a cosmic language older than every civilization. It can unlock anything, create anything, destroy anything." Nadia's breath caught. "And I can read it?" "You can command it," Kale said. "But they want to use you as a tool." The shimmering sky split open as a massive geometric war structure descended. The same shape that hovered outside her school, only far larger, stretching across the horizon. Nadia trembled. "Kyle, I'm scared." "I know," he said, placing a hand over hers, warm and trembling. "But fear is part of intelligence, and intelligence is your power." She looked at the glowing lines spreading across her palm, patterns she had never noticed before today, now shining faintly like the symbols on the board. "What do I do?" she whispered. Kale took a deep breath. "Close your eyes, feel the sequence, it will answer." The ground shook violently. The sky tore open. Metallic soldiers dropped toward them like falling stars. "Nadia," Kale whispered, "you are not a weapon. You are a choice." She closed her eyes. The world silenced. For a moment she heard nothing but her own heartbeat. Then the symbols appeared in her mind, swirling, glowing, singing. They didn't feel alien anymore. They felt like her. Nadia raised her hand. Light exploded from her palm, expanding outward in a wave that shook the sky. The floating shards froze mid-air. The soldiers halted mid-descent. Even the massive war structure trembled under the force. Kale shielded his eyes. "Nadia, what have you done?" She opened her eyes, glowing with the same cosmic symbols. "I made a choice," she said softly. "I'm not running anymore." The energy storm burst upward, swallowing the war structure in a blinding flash. When the light faded, everything was silent. Nadia stood in the middle of the trembling field, breathing hard, the symbols fading slowly from her eyes. Kale stared at her, shaken, awed. You changed the sequence itself. No one has ever done that. She looked at him. What happens now? He gave a small, almost sad smile. Now they will fear you, and they will follow you. Nadia stepped forward, determination settling in her chest. Then let them come. Kale nodded. You're no longer a student, Nadia. You're a force. She looked at the glowing sky one last time. I'm ready.